माइक ऑन कर लीजिए। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Thank you, sir. Jenny ma'am, please carry on.
All right, good morning, students. You might all be aware of the fact that today we have gathered here to have an awareness program on digital literacy. So what is actually digital literacy? Nothing else but to be aware of how we use computers, what are computers, how they work. I will not take too much of your time. I'll just share my screen and show you a video on the same. As and when required, I'll pause the video. You can ask me questions and we will answer your questions based on that.
Ma'am, we cannot hear.
One moment.
Ma'am, we cannot hear anything.
Parts of a computer, the parts that can't be touched. This includes the instructions that control how the hardware functions, the applications running on the computer, and the data stored on the computer. Hardware includes
Time to time, I'll be pausing the video and I would request Farah ma'am to take some screenshots and just keep them in a Word file because I cannot take the screenshot with my screen and all the people visible at the bottom.
Fine, ma'am. I'll do that. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. So children, you can see these are different hardware parts of a computer. Let's continue.
all of the physical parts that make up a computer, such as the monitor and the central processing unit that keeps data moving. There are various types of computers that you may encounter, but they all share the same fundamental purpose of processing and storing information.
Let's take a look at the primary hardware components that make up a computer. This includes the base unit, the monitor, the speakers, the keyboard, and the mouse.
Hope all of you are using these devices at present also. All of you are using our monitors. If we are using laptops, we are using our screens. We all are using CPUs, speakers, even mouse or maybe the touchpad and microphone. So there is nothing much to explain in this. We all know how these things work.
Each part serves a purpose that allows us to operate and interact with the computer. The base unit holds the brains of the computer, the physical parts that process information and make the computer function. It contains important components like the CPU or central processing unit, the motherboard, the hard disk, and the memory units. It also contains ports that allow you to plug additional components or devices.
These children, these ports are basically when we look at the desktop. All right, you can see a box which we normally term as the CPU of our desktops. So all these ports are visible there, but when you people are using your laptops, you will be most probably be seeing only the USB ports and some sorts where you can attach your, sometimes if you have a microphone which is also attached with a headphone, or maybe two of these kind of ports where you can attach a separate headphone and a separate microphone. We do not get all the other ports. Our laptops nowadays are termed as ultrabooks. So all these ports have been removed to keep our laptops slim and lightweight. All right. So many of these ports you will not find in laptops, but you will be able to see them in a desktop.
Into your computer, like headphones or a printer. The monitor, sometimes referred to as the display, is the part of the computer that displays output for users to view, like graphics and text. In some cases, the monitor is a separate piece that you must physically plug into your computer. In other cases, the monitor is built into the computing device. The speakers allow you to listen to sound that comes from the computer. In some cases, the speakers are built into the computer. In other cases, you must physically connect speakers to your computer in order to hear audio. The keyboard is an input device used to interact with the computer. Using a keyboard, you can type letters, numbers, and characters that will be processed by the computer. Keyboards can be physical and attached to the computer, or they can be virtual, where you use...
Now see, keyboards can be physical, they can be attached to your laptops, and a virtual. This is the new word that we are going to hear, virtual. Virtual is a kind of keyboard whenever you're using a device, which is a handheld device most of the times, like your smartphones. Your smartphones do have a keyboard, but those keyboards are virtual keyboard. When you people are using tabs, you use a virtual keyboard. Nowadays, instead of calling them virtual keyboards, we also call them on-screen keyboards.
A touch display to type by directly touching the screen of the monitor. The mouse is an important device used to interact with items displayed on the screen. When you move the mouse, a pointer on the screen also moves, allowing you to operate the computer. You can plug a physical mouse into your computer or use the touchpad that is built into some computers and provides the same function. All of these parts may not look the same for every type of computer, but they still provide the same functions.
What is an operating system? Computers are tools that allow us to get things done electronically. To use a computer for our tasks, we need to be able to tell the computer what we want it to do. Operating systems make this possible. The operating system, sometimes called the OS, is the main piece of software that runs in a computer. The operating system manages all other software and hardware parts of the computer and provides a way for you to communicate with the computer. Modern operating systems are designed with graphical interfaces containing icons, buttons, and text that make it easy for people to use the computer. You can even customize the look and feel of your operating system so that it's easier for you to use in the way you'd like. Consider that you want to use your computer to create a text document. You can use the graphical menus and buttons within the operating system to create the document, use the keyboard to enter text into your document, and tell the operating system to save your file. The operating system handles all of the physical tasks behind the scenes, like keeping track of what you typed on the keyboard, controlling the processor, and saving your information to the hard drive. There are different types of operating systems for different types of computers. Many PCs run the Microsoft Windows operating system, while Mac computers run the Mac OS system, and some computers run the Linux operating system. Mobile devices run different operating systems than laptops and desktop computers.
Now, I would like some of you to tell me which operating system are we using on our mobile phones, not the iPhones. The normal mobile phone, suppose I've got an OnePlus phone with me. Which operating system do you feel I'm using?
Androids.
Good, Androids. And people who are using iPhones, which operating system they will be using? Very good.
iOS.
Mac.
Computers. When you purchase a computer, the operating system for that device is usually pre-installed for you. Operating systems make it possible for us to operate computers and get things done.
Here I would also like to tell you people, like most of us using Windows or maybe the Mac OS. Windows and Mac OS are paid operating systems. We need to pay a hefty amount to have those operating systems on our machines. But if you people use Linux, Linux also is a graphics user interface software. You can easily get it free of cost. Some of you, if you have somebody elder at home, you can try out downloading Linux from web, and you can make your machine dual bootable. Dual bootable simply means you can have two operating systems at the same time on your machine, and if you feel like you can use Windows or Mac at the same time. If you're not using Windows or Mac, you can boot your machines using Linux operating system. Nowadays, if you go to the market and buy a laptop, most of the laptops will be coming with the Windows operating system. Your Macs will be coming with Mac OS. But there are companies which take, say, if your laptop is of, say, 65,000, they might charge you 5,000 less, give you the laptop for 60,000 with the Linux operating system. The reason being, Linux operating system is free of cost. although it is free of cost, there is one more advantage. People who are good in programming can make changes in that operating system, as it is an open source operating system. You can make changes if you can program, and then you can put it on the internet for other people to use, who again can download it free of cost and make changes into it and personalize it, or in terms of computers, say customize it.
Windows 10 is the latest version of Microsoft's operating system for PCs and tablets, as well as many other devices. Windows comes pre-installed on most new devices. In this video, we will explore the basics of working with an operating system. We'll use the Windows 10 operating system for examples, but these concepts carry over to other operating systems too. When you start up your Windows 10 device, the first thing that will load is the operating system. You will see a screen asking you to log in. A device using Windows 10 as the operating system can be used by more than one person or user. Each user would create their own username and password, then use the...
Now when do we use this kind of functions, putting an username or a password on our computers? When we feel we want our machines to ourselves only. We do not want other people to use our computers. We use username and password so that people who do not have the password with them, they will not be allowed to even use our computers. All right, that's the reason we put passwords on our computers also. Otherwise, there is no need to put, the machine is mine. I can always use it without a password. Now, most of the time, all of you are using a palm held computer. What is that? The palm held computer that you people are using?
Laptop.
Laptop is laptop, something which is kept on your lap. I'm saying palm held. Palm held means?
Ma'am, iPad.
Phone.
iPads, good. Somebody said one more word. I
Ma'am,
could hear
it's in
something.
your palm.
We
Computer.
are using
Phone.
smartphones, something which is kept in our palms. All right. Although those are our private belongings, still we keep passwords on them. Reason, we do not want anybody to see what's going on in our device. We do not want other people to use our devices without our permission. All right. So these things are also related to your digital literacy awareness. You do not want people to interfere or barge into your privacy. All right.
Click the Start menu. Click on your username or avatar, and then click Sign Out. One thing about signing out of Windows. Signing out is different than shutting down or turning off the computer. Signing out keeps your device running, but signs you out of Windows 10. After you log out, the computer is ready for another user to log in. Shutting down your computer simply means you're completely turning off your computer, like you turn off a television or another device. It is important to shut down your computer correctly, so you do not lose unsaved work. It also allows the operating system and applications to remain healthy and operate normally. To shut down your computer, click the Start menu and choose Power. Then select...
I hope everybody knows how to shut down a computer. Taking the time constraint into effect, I'll be fast forwarding a bit. The place from where we actually need you people to be aware of things. All right. All of you know how to create folders and all. I don't need to teach you those things. Do I?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Good children. Very good. I'm too happy to see listen to all these answers. All right. Now some of the things which you people might or maybe using it, may not be using it, still will look at them.
always appear at the top. There are best-selling apps, top and seasonal apps, etc. And at the bottom,
You people can get hold of these apps from Microsoft Store. All right. We always have a store with Windows machines these days. All right. So many of these apps are free of cost. You can easily download them and use them. Even you can download something termed as themes, Windows themes and all, and change the look of your desktop.
you can filter apps by category. Looking for an app so you can watch sports or keep up with your favorite teams? You can find it in the sports category. An app to help you manage your books or track your portfolio? You will find those apps in the personal finance category. For instance, Microsoft Whiteboard is an app I need on my computer for work. To install it on my computer, I just click on the app and then
See, most of us are using this whiteboard a lot these days, aren't we? Whenever we are doing our online classes, the teachers are using this whiteboard to explain you the things, because we do not have the real board, we are using the virtual board. All right? Like the virtual keyboard, this is a virtual board, also termed as the whiteboard.
within the app page, click Get. From there, it will download and install the app on my computer, and then I'll be ready to work. Certain types of files require a certain type of application to open it. Notice when we attempt to open a text file and select Open With, we have a handful of text editing applications to choose.
Now see, on this screen, why we have been given three options. There is an Acrobat option, a Notepad option, and a Word option. Reason being, the person has clicked on a text file. The softwares which are presently on his computer which can open a text file are these three softwares. Alright, so he can use any of these three softwares to open a text file. How do you know a file is a text file? When you people will be clicking on the names of the files, you'll see either they might be txt or doc or do. Nowadays, when you people are working in the newer versions of Word, you'll be see docx. So with the extension, the file name, suppose my file is jenny dot something. Jenny is the file name, and the text that appears after dot is termed as the extension of the file. That extension tells me what kind of the file it is. A text file, or sometimes like you people always play games. When you people download games, they come as exe files, all right, that are executable files. Sometimes they may be batch files, all right. When you people play games and download exe files or batch files, you should be aware most of the viruses or the malwares come to your computers in form of exe files. Alright, so before downloading any kind of game or any kind of exe or any kind of executable file, you should be aware of the fact that it may contain a virus also. So before downloading them, make sure you're downloading your files from a trusted website.
From. If we look at a photo and select Open With, we are presented with several applications to choose from to either view the photo or edit the photo. The Open With selection will be different depending on the file you're looking to open. Once you become familiar with the types of apps you can use on your computer, you will always have the tools you need to get things done. When working or playing on your computer, you will be using an application or an app. But what is an application? Applications are simply software programs on our computers that help us get things done. For instance, if you need to perform some quick calculations, you can use the calculator. Or if you want to draw something, you can do so in Paint. Although there are a variety of different apps, learning how to use them can be easy once you realize that most apps share common features. Let me show you. Let's open Paint. Notice there's an area at the top of the app called a ribbon. In the ribbon, there are tabs like File, Home, and View that will enable you to perform common functions within the app. Within the Home tab, you will be able to find Cut, Copy, and Paste, as well as how to change the size and color of text. In View, you will be able to zoom in and out, as well as turn on and off rulers. Now, let's open Word. Notice that ribbon at the top?
Now see, why he is talking about ribbons is every app will have a different ribbon, alright? Depends on the kind of work we are going to do using that app. Like previously he opened Paint and the ribbon was different with drawing tools. Now he has opened a text editor. So the ribbon is different. There are tools to format your text. Every software or every app will have a different ribbon and different tools based on that particular software.
There, we can also find those same tabs and buttons. In Home, we can cut, copy, and paste, as well as change the size and color of text. In View, we can zoom in or out, as well as turn on and off rulers. If you are new to using these apps, always remember the ribbon at the top of the app is where you will usually find most of the functions you will need to use the app effectively. The ribbon and menu system might look slightly different in different apps, or if you're using an operating system other than Windows 10, but you'll still find similarities that can help you learn to use the app. Also, something very convenient about modern operating systems like Windows 10 is you can have multiple apps open simultaneously. This is very helpful if you are working within several apps at once and need to go between these apps easily, or if you're like me and just don't like to close applications when you're done using them. Once you become familiar with the different apps on your computer and what you can accomplish when using them, there is no limit to what you can do.
Using the internet, we can communicate with other.
Now is an important topic, how we are supposed to use internet. All right, so pay close attention to these videos, because you people are most of the time using internet. You might get different kinds of attacks. So this will get you some knowledge about what kind of attacks you can face on internet.
People across the world in new ways. This has many benefits, but there are also some dangers. There are online predators using the internet every day. These predators often pretend to be people they aren't, so it can be hard to know who you're talking to online. Here are 3 tips you can use to keep yourself safe from online predators when communicating online. Tip number 1. Use your instincts. If someone makes you feel nervous or uncomfortable, stop communicating with them and tell someone you trust immediately. Most websites and social media sites have tools that you can use to report suspicious activity. Tip number 2. Limit what you share. Online predators often try to get you to share your personal information through emails and messages. Avoid sharing personal information with an online stranger. Tip number 3. Keep your distance. Think twice about meeting someone in person that you have only talked to online. Online predators often use social media to pretend to be someone else by setting up fake profiles using other people's pictures. Even if someone seems friendly, it can be hard to know for sure who you're talking to online. Always tell a parent or someone you trust when an online stranger asks to meet you in person, so you don't end up in a dangerous situation. Many online predators use smart tactics to lure you into dangerous situations, but you can be smarter. Keep these risks and tips in mind so you can stay safe when you talk to people online.
The internet and the web make it possible for us to stay connected with friends and family across the world. We can use social media and other platforms to see what's happening in our friends' lives, share personal news, and stay in touch with others. But sharing things online isn't always safe. Consider this scenario. Harold gets a new car and wants his friends to see it, so he posts a picture of it on social media. This might seem okay, but the picture includes a lot of personal information about Harold. Anyone can see his license plate number, what kind of car he's driving, and where he lives from one picture. This might be okay for his friends to see, but it can be dangerous if the wrong person finds this information and wants to use it in a bad way. It's important to keep safety and privacy in mind when you share things online. When you set up profiles on social media websites, be sure to review the privacy settings of your account. If your account is set to public, anyone can see your information and what you share. Instead, use the private setting on accounts so that only your personal connections can see what you share.
Then, as all of you are using Insta or FB a lot, whenever you are doing that, please keep these points in mind to stay safe. All right?
You should also be selective when you accept invitations to connect with someone via social media. Most social media platforms have a way for you to accept and deny requests to have someone be your friend or follower on the site. Once you accept someone, they have direct access to your profile and the things you share. Keep this in mind when you receive a request, and make sure you only interact with people you know and trust. Even when you control who has access to your profiles and accounts, you can't control what other people do with your information. When you share something online, you can't erase it. Never share something online that you wouldn't want strangers and the public to see. Always remember to think before you share. Keep your safety in mind and make smart choices when you share things online.
The internet and social media platforms connect us with our friends, family, and peers in new ways. Sometimes people take advantage of these platforms and use them to spread negative messages about others. Cyberbullying, or bullying that takes place on the internet, can be just as bad as bullying in person. People can use the internet to send mean messages to someone, spread fake rumors, or share someone's private information without permission. When someone is cyberbullied, their feelings can be hurt.
Apart from feelings being hurt, there are other consequences as well. We have something termed as cyber cell. All right, if somebody files a complaint, there will be consequences. So before doing these kind of things, please be very mindful that bullying is not allowed in person or on social media. So be very careful of these things.
And the reputation can be damaged. You cannot always prevent cyberbullying, but you can play a part for everyone. Here are some guidelines you can follow to promote digital civility online. Live by the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated, whether you're in person or online. Avoid sending negative messages and behavior that hurt someone else. Respect differences. We're all different in many ways. When you interact with people online, respect their differences in opinion, experience, and culture. Even if you don't agree with something that another person shares online, you should still treat them with respect and make the internet a friendly space for communication. Pause before replying. Before you share anything online, always pause and think about the consequences. Will your message hurt someone else? Will it damage your reputation or the safety or reputation of others? Think before sharing online. Stand up for yourself and others. If you feel unsafe online, you should feel comfortable to remove yourself from a situation and report it to someone you trust.
All right, children. So these are some important points we should always keep in mind when we are online, when we are dealing people with online, and sometimes some of these points have to be kept in mind even when dealing with people in person. All right, any questions, anyone? You guys saying no? All right, so I hope you enjoyed the session. For any kind of help regarding these topics, you can always reach out to us. All right, thank you so much for your time. Stay safe and stay blessed. Thank you, all of you.
Bye,
Bye, children.
Thank you so much.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Bye, ma'am. Have
Thank
a
you.
nice day.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Jenny ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Jenny
Thank you,
ma'am.
everyone.
Jenny ma'am.
Yes.
Do you have the slide? Probably we can share it with them. It'll be good for them to exactly know. Do you
All
want us
right.
to share it?
It's a video. I'll share the video with you.
Yeah.
And then you can share with them.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
I hope you've clicked pictures, Farah ma'am.
I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
also taken pictures. I've taken screenshots, but I couldn't take it with people visible down. All right. So Farah ma'am has taken those pictures. We'll collate and we'll then forward the pictures.
Yes, yes. All right. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you and
Good
take
day.
care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.